Hello, my name is Amir Bowler, and I will be presenting on the transgender population. Transgender defined. Gender identity is a person's internal personal sense of being a man or woman or boy or girl. For some people, their identity does not fit neatly into those two choices. For transgender people, the sex they were assigned at birth and their own internal gender identity do not match. With that being said, transgender is a term used to describe people whose gender identity differs from the sex they were assigned at birth. People in the transgender community may describe themselves using one or more of a wide variety of terms, including but not limited to transgender, transsexual, and non-binary. Trying to change a person's gender identity is no more successful than trying to change a person's sexual orientation. So most transgender people seek to bring their bodies into alignment with their gender identity. This is called transition. As part of the transition process, many transgender people are prescribed hormones by their doctors to change their body, or some may undergo surgeries as well. However, some individuals do not take any of these steps. What name and pronoun do I use? For some transgender people, being associated with their birth name is a tremendous source of anxiety, or it is simply a part of their life they wish to leave behind. If you are unsure what pronoun to use, ask. Why is transgender equality important? Transgender people face staggering levels of poverty, discrimination, and violence. Transgender people, particularly transgender women of color, face shockingly high rates of murder, homelessness, and incarceration. According to the 2015 U.S. Trans Survey, 29% of transgender people live in poverty compared to 14% of general population. 30% of transgender people report being homeless at some point in their lives, with 12% saying it was within the past 12 months. Transgender people experience unemployment at 3 times the rate of the general population, with rates for people of color up to 4 times the national unemployment rate. Furthermore, 30% of transgender people report being fired, denied a promotion, or experiencing mistreatment in the workplace due to their gender identity in the past 12 months. 31% of transgender people experience mistreatment in the past year in a place of public accommodation, including 14% who were denied equal services. 24% were verbally harassed, and 2% who were physically attacked because they were transgender. 40% of respondents reported attempting suicide in their lifetime. That's nearly 9 times the attempted suicide rate in the United States. Gender dysphoria. Although being transgender is not a mental illness, most transgender persons experience dysphoria at various times in their life. The gender dysphoria diagnoses in the DSM-5 indicate that it may include symptoms of depression, anxiety, fear, guilt, low self-esteem, shame, and self-hatred. For some transgender persons, these negative emotional experiences may lead to self-harm, substance abuse, and eating disorders. One statistic that is particularly startling is that 41% of transgender persons attempted suicide, compared with less than 2% of the general public. Furthermore, 57% have experienced rejection by their families, 53% have been verbally harassed in public, 97% have been harassed or discriminated against in a work setting, 28% have experienced harassment in medical settings. As many as 27% have been refused medical care in the past. One encouraging statistic from this study is that 78% of those who completed their transition felt more comfortable at work and improved their job performance despite mistreatment. This shows that completing transition can cause greater confidence and comfort with self and may strengthen the transgender person's ability to cope with stressful environments. Transgender people and mental health. Individuals who identify as transgender tend to experience higher rates of mental health issues than the general population. Approximately 6.7% of the general population suffer from depression, and 18% grapple with some type of anxiety disorder. Half of all individuals who identify as transgender experience these issues. Over 41% of trans men and women are estimated to have attempted suicide. Professional counselors can be helpful to transgender persons by providing informed, competent, and compassionate mental health care. It is crucial that counselors are aware of, confront, and alter their own biases, fears, discomfort, gender, normative assumptions, and lack of information about transgender persons. Furthermore, it is the counselor's responsibility to reduce the shame associated with self-stigmatization and internalization transphobia that transgender clients may experience. Knowing the antidote to shame is self-esteem and pride, counselors must help these clients identify positive resources and strength. Here is a genderbid person. This can be a great handout for individuals trying to understand the different genders out there and trying to understand transgender individuals. It helps you basically it helps you to differ between gender expression, biological sex, and sexual orientation. And it helps you realize that just because a person looks a certain way outside doesn't mean that that's how they feel or how they identify in the inside. Here's another handout that helps individuals that are wanting to be allies to the trans population. There's a few things that they say you can do to help with that. One thing is educate yourself, advocate for gender neutral bathrooms at your business or school, and always be understanding and supportive. Furthermore, here's another handout that shows what you can do if you want to be an effective trans ally. You can apologize when you make a mistake. You can listen to trans individuals. Experiences of transphobia can be dismissed. Affirm the experiences of trans people. Listen to how you can provide support and be an ally. Furthermore, understanding your privilege by recognizing the ways being a cisgender allows you to access washrooms, healthcare, or transcripts with ease. And just thinking about your own entitlement can also help you be a trans ally. I would like to say thank you very much for listening to my presentation, and I hope you have learned something throughout this presentation. Thank you very much.